Opposition leader Barajak Dio has signaled his party's intention to raise a storm in the House over the issue. He is saying that the coalition is reneging on its promise by denying the constitutional agencies the level of financial independence they deserve.
Our members of parliament are in no mood to go there and be controlled in a narrow framework where the government will once again hide behind parliamentary rules to avoid an open debate on these issues.
Finance Minister Winston Jordan had made downward adjustments to budgetary requests submitted by the constitutional agencies in previous budget, saying that the resources were simply not available to provide those agencies with exactly what they wanted. As far as the 2018 estimates are concerned, the minister has pointed out that his allocations for the constitutional agencies takes into account the economic outlook for revenue generation, expenditure and economic growth for next year, among other factors. Mr. Jack Dio says the administration has an obligation to accede to the budgetary requests submitted by the constitutional agencies, since the coalition, while in the opposition, had argued strongly for the financial autonomy of those agencies. He is demanding a full debate because, he says, the PPP requires a full explanation of the constraints facing the administration.
We are not going to attempt to cut the budgets of any of the agencies. So let me make that very clear. The PPP members of parliament will argue for the budgets to be honored, since they're in keeping with the legislation as recommended by the agencies, since they would be keeping with the legislation passed by ACNU. What we will be challenging is what the Minister of Finance gives as reasons for not approving the requests as proposed by the agencies.
Mr. Jack Dio stopped short of disclosing what exactly the PPP will do in the event of the party doesn't get its way in the House on Friday, but he gave a hint.
If the Speaker and the government side try to truncate us raising these legitimate concerns of people across Guyana and try to shield the minister from giving explanations for him acting contrary to the legislation that they themselves passed, then you're going to see major expressions of disapproval from our side.
If the PPP's demand for a full debate is met, then the House can erupt into a mud-slinging fest, as indicated by Mr. Jack Dio.
And he needs to explain how come buying $100 million worth of vehicles for the office of the president is accorded greater priority than funding the budget of a constitutional agency.
Roy Dan James, HGP Nightly News.